Aloha, everyone, and welcome back to the program. In the 1930s, Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil. 5 decades later, Ozzy Osbourne became the symbol of all that was unholy. Now, just 4 days ago, July 5th, 2025, it was back to the beginning. Ozzy, Bill, Geezer, and Tony for one final time. So go ahead, please like, share, comment, and together we say goodbye to the heaviest blues band of all time. Hell yeah! Oh, so I saw at the beginning there from 1970, I think 1970, still as heavy as it was. What was that, 50 years ago? I don't even want to do the math right now. Unfrickin' believable. So the question is, have I finally gone too far into the blues is in everything and everything is in the blues narrative? Hell no. Black Sabbath in style and subject matter and reputation is directly descended from the original bluesmen who sang about the darker side of life and who carried that image of someone who really just ran toward trouble as opposed to running away from it. This song we just heard, N.I.B., written by Geezer Butler, and that does not stand for Nativity in Black, whatever the hell that was supposed to mean, is about Satan falling in love and changing his ways. And I'm sure 5 out of the first 8 blues songs ever written covered such similar topics. I'm not too sure, according to the lyrics, if Satan really did change his ways. Maybe Geezer was a little bit more hopeful. As he says, now I have you with me under my power. Our love goes stronger now with every hour. Look into my eyes, you see who I am. My name is Lucifer. Please take my hand. Doesn't sound like a very sharing relationship, to be honest with you. Now that I have you with me under my power. Seems kind of one-sided. But again, it is Lucifer. I guess him being in love and being in a sharing relationship probably does leave a few things desired. But really, how much different is that from really Robert Johnson singing "Me and the Devil was walking side by side. I'm going to beat my woman till I'm satisfied. She says, you don't see why that you will dog me around. It must be that old evil spirit so deep down in the ground." Robert Johnson, Black Sabbath. Different sides of the same coin. Is Sabbath a traditional 12-bar blues band? No, it isn't. But the blues, especially earlier on in their career, played a definite role and definitely played a big part in the creation, the image of what Black Sabbath had became. And we've talked over and over again on this channel about how, especially early on, the blues were seen as, of course, the devil's music. It was dangerous. And if you were around in the 70s, and particularly the 80s, and if you remember a group called the Parents Resource Music Center, the PMRC, yeah, that's what they were called. You all remember how evil all these folks were. Imagine if Robert Johnson and Lead Belly and Son House and these folks were popular musicians in the 1980s, what these group of, Washington wives would have thought about Robert Johnson singing in front of teenagers saying, I'm going to beat my woman till I'm satisfied. That would have been crazy. In his autobiography, I Am Ozzy, Ozzy said that their debut album, he described it as a blues album. And writing and recording a darker, heavier version of the blues has always been the intent of the band. Going back to 68 when Tony and Bill Ward, when their previous band, Mythology, broke up. This is even before Ozzy and Geezer joined the band. So this was, again, a direction that they wanted to take from the get-go. They were very influenced by a lot of these English blues and blues rock bands, Cream, John Mayall, 10 years after. That kind of a thing. That's who they wanted to be. Now, again, were they there for a long time? No, they kind of changed and grew as artists did. And most of the blues that you will hear from a Black Sabbath album really comes from their first album. Songs like The Warning, The Wizard, Wicked World. Beyond that, when you do hear more of, say, the blues flavoring in their albums, a lot of it's coming from Ozzy's vocal framings, phrasings. You do have Tony kind of messing around inside that blues pentatonic scale. Again, not the traditional 12-bar version of it, but always kind of playing around in there. And then Bill Ward's drumming, kind of adding some blues, jazz, swing feel to the whole thing. And that was always very, very cool. And of course, together with Geezer Butler, one of rock's greatest bass players, an outstanding lyricist. And together they formed one of the rarest things that you can imagine. And that's a band that just simply changed the world. By the way, if you're looking for more Black Sabbath and the blues content, I'm going to add a link below. It's to the Contrarians Presents YouTube channel. And there they discuss how much the title is How Much Blues is in Black Sabbath. I was watching it earlier today. It's very, very cool. I'm going to put a link, of course, to the Sabbath website where this video came from. And of course, again, Black Sabbath began there, 68, 69. Today, they're listening to the music. It still sounds really kind of fresh. It's still heavy. That rhythm section is still one of the most impressive sounding things. And imagine if Tony Iommi didn't lose the tips of his fingers and had to down tune to make the playing of his guitar easy. If they didn't see the crowd streaming out of the theater paying to watch scary movies. If they didn't see that sort of things, if they didn't or weren't inspired by the Creams and the John Mayalls, where would music be? And these sort of odd circumstances that came together, physical impairment. Again, people watching scary movies in the band going, isn't it crazy how people pay money to be scared? We should do something like that in our music. Anyway, please like, subscribe, share, comment, and of course, turn it up, especially when we're playing these Black Sabbath tunes, my friends. And hey, we'll see you again real soon. Thanks for joining me. Y'all take care, all right?